What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Waaktaar Zoe, and we're up to the penultimate tune on the 2017 album World of Trouble, and it's Open Face, which I suppose might have meaning in a couple different technical senses, but my immediate thought is that it relates to total transparency, the idea of not hiding your face or having it closed in relation to somebody's ability to perceive it or to behold it. And in that regard, I would take it to mean something about emotional sincerity or honesty, the idea of not obscuring how one is feeling, because again, a face is often indicative or expresses visually the way in which someone's feeling. Of course, you can have a poker face, meaning a face that deliberately obscures the actual sentiment, information, or feeling you have, but in that regard, I would regard an open face as the opposite of that. So, yes, my expectation is that this relates to some degree of transparency, though given Paul's songwriting, I wouldn't be surprised if there's more to it than that shows on the surface, which would itself be a bit ironic, I suppose. Let's give it a listen. This is Waaktaar Zoe. The track is Open Face, and it's the penultimate track on their 2017 album World of Trouble.
It's been some time since we've spoken. Guess you're wondering how I've been.
like the tune sonically, but that ambient floating away type of ending was especially nice. So I also enjoy the post-chorus, I think, section where it had a bit of a percussive drive to it with that 4/4 beat and the slightly stripped down sonics. And there were other sonic details I enjoyed, like a nice keyboard line, and there was a light feeling to most of the sonics, which seemed to maybe be functioning at odds with the lyrics, if I'm hearing them right. So it sounds like a relationship that is no more, but somehow they're conversing again. I suppose it could be the narrator just rehearsing or working through in her head, but it sounds like they've somehow come into contact together again, and she's saying, well, it's been a while, and we haven't talked, and you're probably asking or going to ask how I've been, and I hear through the grapevine that maybe you're seeing someone, and I'd rather that not be the case. And if I'm hearing the chorus right, it sort of changes at least one or two of the lines over the course of the song, saying that like she wishes that they weren't different, like I don't know, like I'm not exactly as you are or something like that. But then by the end she's saying, I wish I wasn't in a place that you're not. I think I'm paraphrasing here, but yeah, it sounds like there's a disconnect, like there's a failure to meet in multiple ways, even as they meet again after some prolonged period of not being involved. But it seems like there's lament or regret on her behalf. I don't think we hear the other side of the story, so again, it remains to be seen, one, if she is in fact engaging in dialogue with this other person directly or sincerely, or if this is like projection. And number two, even if he is there, we don't really get answers to these sentiments or questions. So yeah, I do wonder the nature of this moment and whether or not he's feeling similarly. And it sounds like maybe he's not. It sounds like maybe, he is actually seeing someone else or someone new, I think she phrased it. And the way she expressed her vocals, like her delivery in that moment, it sort of went down and like had a bit of a raw or like even guttural type of sound to it in that moment, which is perhaps good emotional expression for a feeling she didn't want to have. So I like the vocals in that moment in particular, and just in general I enjoy her vocals. And on this tune it's like maybe she's a bit lower, but yeah, I enjoyed most of the lines. There were a couple that I didn't really get, in particular that line about like, what is it, taking a step forward from outer space or something like that. I don't know how that works even metaphorically or thematically. So yeah, I don't claim to understand exactly what's happening here, even if I think I have a sense of the larger moment. Nevertheless, a very compelling tune sonically. As I said, I like the different ingredients, and there's a light flow to it, even if that feels like maybe it's not perfectly characterizing the tension or the apprehension that she's feeling, or the annoyance at not having a similar place and or identity or character in relation to the guy she's singing about, or I'm assuming that's the case. Of course, in songs written by Paul, I do, or at least over time I've come to wonder, does this have any relation to Aha or maybe Mag specifically? It doesn't feel like that's the case here, and of course coming from Zoe's voice, I'm even less inclined to think that. But nevertheless, a very intriguing song. I enjoyed it sonically, I enjoyed it lyrically as far as I followed it. I'm looking forward to the final track on the album, which, just to preview it in this moment, it is The Sequoia Has Fallen. So that's certainly a very visual and perhaps conceptual or emotional indication of something not growing anymore, something that's been chopped down and is now the remains of something that had been living. So we'll look forward to that, and I'll think about it more when we get there. Let me know what you think of this, and I will see you next time. Peace.